Okay, imagine this. You're standing there, maybe months after making a really big decision, a life-changing one.
Right.
Back then, you had this moment, this like absolute clarity. You just knew what you had to do.
Total conviction.
Exactly. But now, standing in the quiet, maybe just making coffee, this cold feeling hits you. Like, what if I got it totally wrong?
Ah, yes. The great emotional U-turn.
Yeah.
It's that universal thing, isn't it? That exhausting habit we have of second-guessing a decision that felt completely solid at the time.
Yeah, and it leads to all that doubt, regret, maybe even, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m.
We've all been there. That sudden, just overwhelming sense that your past self, the rational one, actually had no clue.
That's it. The then self had all the facts, was right there in the situation, made a logical call.
And the now self, safely removed by time, suddenly thinks it knows better, puts the whole thing back on trial.
So that's what we're diving into today, right? We want to investigate why we betray that past self so often.
Precisely. What are the psychological gears grinding away that make a conviction from, say, 6 weeks ago feel so shaky today? We're sort of mapping out the architecture of self-sabotage here.
Okay, let's make this real. Let's talk scenarios.
Yeah.
Because these are painfully familiar, I think.
Good idea.
The classic breakup regret. You ended it, and you had clear, objective reasons. You saw the problems, the incompatibility. It felt completely right to walk away. You set boundaries.
It absolutely did. Solid reasons. But then, time passes. The immediate stress, the arguments, they fade a bit, don't they?
They do, and you're alone, maybe walking in the park, doing laundry, whatever, and that critical clarity, it's just calm.
Vanished. The present is quiet, maybe safe, maybe a little bit lonely.
And that quiet, maybe too quiet presence starts whispering, doesn't it? That person was actually so funny and clever and sweet.
All the good stuff comes flooding back.
Right. And the memory of why it was actually destructive, poof,
Yeah.
gone. And then comes the urge, that little text, that falsely innocent check-in.
Ignoring all of the sensible reasons you put those boundaries up in the first place. It's the pull of immediate feeling versus archived pain.
Okay, another one. That awful summer vacation. Remember, sweltering heat, sand everywhere, crowds. Miserable.
Oh, yeah. You swore, absolutely swore. Next time, mountains. Cooler climate. Done.
That vow felt like granite, but now it's February. You're freezing, looking out at gray skies, maybe it's raining.
And suddenly that memory of intense heat, it's just an idea. It doesn't feel real anymore. The cold feels real.
So what happens? You find yourself casually browsing, maybe that same beach resort again, thinking, maybe next year.
The immediate discomfort, the cold right now, completely overrides the memory of the past discomfort, the heat. Your current feeling dictates the future plan, overriding the past vow.
It happens with careers too, right? You were done, totally finished with a certain job or industry. You resigned, cleared out, full stop.
Closure. You had it. But then maybe you bump into an old colleague somewhere. They seem happy, successful.
And bam, just like that. That brief chat sparks this idea. Maybe I should give it another shot.
Forgetting entirely the years of stress, the burnout, the actual reasons you left. Why? Because the idea of validation right now feels more urgent than the memory of past misery.
This isn't just like simple nostalgia, though, is it? There's something deeper going on psychologically.
Much deeper. It points to a core principle, really. For further we get from the moment of decision, the more our judgment gets, well, clouded, corrupted even.
Corrupted by what, though?
By the needs and feelings of the present moment. And fascinatingly, this happens because of a mental feature that usually serves us incredibly well.
Okay.
There's this thing researchers talk about, sometimes called fading effect bias.
Fading effect bias. Okay, what's that mean in plain English? How does it mess with their decisions?
It's basically our brain's way of helping us survive psychologically. It means negative emotions. The memory of humiliation, stress, fear, pain tend to fade in intensity faster than positive ones.
Ah, okay. So that's why we can eventually cope with grief, right? Or get over a financial disaster. The raw feeling of it lessens.
Exactly. It lets us process trauma, move forward, not be permanently crippled by past awfulness. It's a huge benefit for healing.
So our brain is like a biased historian, designed to downplay the bad stuff over time. That helps us survive, sure, but wow, the cost.
That's the paradox. The benefit is healing. The cost. Strategic blindness. That same mechanism makes you rethink the ex you rightly dumped, because the agony has faded, but the memory of that one funny joke feels vivid.
Or you forget how truly maddening that acquaintance was because the sting of their self-centeredness isn't immediate anymore.
Precisely. It's not just forgetting facts, it's forgetting the intensity of the negative feeling that drove the original decision.
The then self was feeling the heat, literally or figuratively. The now self is looking at the old photo saying, doesn't look so bad from here.
And then there's another layer compounding this. We could call it presentism bias.
Presentism, meaning bias towards the present.
Exactly. We consistently overvalue our current feelings, our current needs, our current context. We discount the wisdom, the facts, the feelings from the past.
Okay, so that's a dangerous combo. Memory fades the bad stuff, fading affect bias, and our current mood demands attention presentism bias.
Lethal, as you said. And that's why we start picking apart those solid past judgments. We don't even notice the powerful incentives pushing us to do it.
We don't see how inconvenient or indigestible those old truths have become right now.
Yes. It's not usually the facts we're arguing with. It's the discomfort those facts cause us in our present emotional state.
So what are the main drivers? What specific feelings push us hardest towards this revisionism?
The source material points to really intense states. Things like deep loneliness, profound sadness, isolation, confusion. When those feelings get intolerable, irrepressible.
They create this massive pressure to change the narrative, to make the present feel better.
Exactly. They act like a huge incentive to rewrite history, basically.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Of course, you start questioning why you left someone after, say, 7 weekends pretty much alone, maybe feeling rubbish, scrolling through dating apps.
The current pain of being single can feel worse, much worse, than the remembered pain of being miserable with them.
The present loneliness is just a huge weight on that past resolution.
It's immense. The craving for any connection can become so strong that the brain happily minimizes all the evidence you had for why that specific person was actually harmful to you.
This sounds like temporal discounting. Is that related? Prioritizing immediate relief over long-term well-being.
Spot on. That's a great way to put it. The immediate reward, like easing loneliness right now, gets pushed way up the priority list. It overrides the longer-term goal, like protecting your future self by sticking to those boundaries.
The psychological need now wins, so you forget how draining that old university friend was.
Because right now, you just desperately want someone to have lunch with this weekend. The need for a social life obscures the historical data points about their character.
Okay, so if our now self is unreliable, emotionally compromised, biased, how do we fight back? How do we give the then self its proper authority?
What does that sternest, most reasonable part of us, as you put it, need to do?
Yeah. When you wake up with that doubt, was I too harsh, too hasty? What's the move?
That reasonable part needs to hit pause. Just stop and grab the controls.
Okay.
And then ask one critical question. Is this sudden urge to revise my past decision based on new objective information? Or is it just convenient right now?
Ah, convenience. That's the siren song, isn't it? It's nearly always easier to slip back into the known, even if it was flawed.
The miserable job, the annoying friend, the toxic relationship, it's familiar territory. Facing the emptiness or uncertainty you chose, that's harder, especially when you feel low now.
So how do you make the then self stay in charge, practically?
You need to have prepared for this moment. When you made that big, difficult decision, quitting the job, ending the relationship, moving away, you should have documented the pain.
Not just the facts, like he was unreliable.
No, not just the facts. The feeling, the visceral reality of it, like leaving yourself a note, an anti-nostalgia file.
A letter to your future doubting self.
Exactly. Detailing the sheer gut-wrenching agony of that moment. Not just the job was stressful, but remember that feeling in your stomach every Sunday night. Remember crying in the parking lot.
Okay, so capturing the emotional intensity.
That documentation becomes your anchor against both fading affect bias and presentism bias. It forces your current self, the lonely, cold, doubting self, to confront the reality your then self lived through before memory smoothed the edges off.
Which brings us to the core wisdom here, doesn't it? The principle we need to tattoo on our brains when doubt creeps in.
It really boils down to this. Trust what you knew then, not what you only feel now.
The then self was closer to the fire, closer to the data that made the decision necessary.
They were paying the price daily. The now self is often just paying the temporary price of change, loneliness, uncertainty. That price is real, but it's often transient. You have to privilege the integrity, the knowledge of your former self.
Okay, so trust the then self, document the pain, ask if the doubt is accurate or just convenient.
That's the toolkit.
And here's a final thought to leave everyone with, maybe something to chew on.
Go on.
How many big life decisions have you actually stuck with, not because it felt great immediately or because your resolve was ironclad,
Uh-huh.
but simply because reversing it was just too much hassle? Like the sheer logistical pain, the cost, the paperwork telling everyone was too high.
That's a fascinating point. The friction of reversal. The sheer difficulty of undoing a major choice often forces us to stick with it long enough for the benefits of the original decision to actually kick in.
So sometimes it's bureaucracy or sheer inconvenience, not willpower, that protects us from our present feelings and keeps our past wisdom intact.
It acts as a buffer, protecting the then self from the now self's emotional pleas. Maybe something to consider the next time you hesitate to make a difficult change. Maybe make it a little harder to undo right away.
Interesting thought. Trust what you knew then.